Like, you know when you sleep halfway, like mini hoo-hoo like that, right? She felt this four-legged animal walking over her, which is very normal if Manto was there.
Right.
Then I just, Manto not here. Then after that, then she on the light, right? The alpaca was like staring right at her. Walao. 群众要求 they want
Chinese podcast now.
No, but 群众要求 right, a lot of our audience right want us to do the horror stories again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because we cannot afford sneaky sushi again, then I guess it's just us lah, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, but these stories are all from you guys. This time I'll be more aware. I won't laugh at their stories.
Well,
The previous time when we do right, they say, wow, you're damn bastard. You all ask us to share story, then we all laugh at them.
but that's why you watch this video.
Please give some credits to our producer who have take a lot of effort to build this whole setup.
Actually, no, not a lot of effort. You know why?
why?
It's just dirty. We just never clean. All the spiders
So
just come.
this one not prop. This one really.
Really
Oh no.
This table is very long. Never clean.
Oh no wonder. Okay.
Which intern was this?
Pass away. First story. Hi, Nigel, Ben, and Ryan. An unexplained experience which happened to me when I was young was when I was 6 to 7 years old when my family and I went to Hong Kong for holiday. We booked this apartment, which from the outside looks damn cui. The lift also a bit wonky. The apartment room where me and my siblings shared to sleep consisted of a bunk bed. It was so small that it has space for one on top and one below, and someone had to sleep on the floor. I usually hate sleeping on the top cause it's always so damn hot, but somehow that day I was feeling it and volunteered. On one of the nights, I climbed to the top and slept, but somehow, I don't know how, but I woke up underneath the bunk bed. I ruled out sleepwalking because I have no history of it and my brother was sleeping on the floor. If I was walking around, he would have woken up given the room is so damn small. I remember it vividly because I got a damn big baluku on my head when I woke up and banged my head against the bottom of the bunk bed. When I say the bottom of the bunk bed, means underneath the person sleeping on the lower part of the bunk, like on the floor. I didn't tell anyone what happened as they were all sleeping. I just kept it to myself for the rest of the trip. What are some things that may have possibly happened?
Wait, this is a horror story.
Yes.
Why you laugh at the last
No, because it's like, there's nothing ghostly about it.
I wake up on the floor quite a few times also.
I think you may have rolled off the bed. That's one of the most plausible scenario.
Yeah.
Second one, maybe your brothers play a prank, like and I pull you down or something like
Yeah,
that.
lor.
Not very scary.
Yeah.
You waste my time for what?
And maybe you are a deep sleeper. We already share our ghost stories locally.
Right.
Overseas, you all went to a couple of travelers. Have you all experienced anything remotely scary? Or during your own overseas travel?
But mine was not more of a ghostly encounter. It was doing army again. In Taiwan, when I was in the hotel. The one that I was supposed to room with, his relative passed away, so he had to go back early. So the whole hotel room was only me. So in the middle of the night, it was an old hotel room also. Then in the middle of the night, I hear this like scratching sound.
Okay.
And in the hotel room alone at night, you hear this kind of scratching sound, you cover scared.
Is it you at night, you just scratching your balls then got the sound?
Well, there's no sound because very small thing, no sound.
Okay, then.
No,
Okay,
so it's
scratching sound, like scratching the wall.
like wood, like
Oh.
yeah, this kind of sound. So I was like a bit scared cause I was only in the room. Then like I don't know who to go for help cause it's during the R&R period. Right. Usually when I sleep, I off all the light. I don't have the night light, all this kind of nonsense. So only he will have this kind of thing.
You do what?
No, I online not because I scared. I okay, but it's like I don't like total darkness.
Wait. So now at home you sleep, you also on a bit of light?
Yeah.
See? You see?
Okay.
Continuing, I was a bit scared. But then like I couldn't sleep at all. So I told myself like I cannot be I cannot be like the whole night I don't sleep. So apparently the sound was coming from the toilet direction. So it was an example is the door, the hotel door. You know that small alley, then the room.
Yeah.
Those sounds basic room lah.
Corridor lah.
Yeah, it's coming from the hotel corridor that area. So I like tell myself, die then die.
Huh?
I go and check. This I go and see.
Wow, that's
Okay,
great. That's an
okay.
officer
I go and
wording.
see.
I won't care.
I cannot sleep because very loud.
Then?
So I go and check. I on the light first lah. I on the bedside light. Then I slowly walk there. Then I like play a bit music. Then the sound like
Getting louder and
get
louder.
louder. Wow, then I really very scared. My heart beating very fast. Like, I never like.
You kick the door. Then
Then I look, 没有人 but still got the sound.
still got the sound.
Still got the sound, but 没有人里面。
But it's very loud already.
It's very loud already. Then it came behind me. Like the sound was from behind me. It's not from the toilet.
But you were going closer to it.
Yeah, so I thought it was from the toilet, but it
So it
wasn't.
teleported lah.
It's like behind me.
Okay.
Which is the, you know, the cupboard.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, then I really scared already.
Then-
Like I just tell myself it's just like real rat or what lah.
Then you
Cause
never
I,
open the cupboard lah.
I open. Before I open, you know, must check so you.
Okay, then.
Like kick, make sound to scare the animal away. Then I open. Then I found the sound.
What?
It's just the fridge.
You go hard, oh my god. That's not even a horror story.
At least better than you
No,
on
but
the
what I'm
floor.
telling you is usually there's
There's always an explanation.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
logical explanation behind it.
That is why mainly I have dogs at home lah. Because when I sleep at night, right, when you hear weird sounds, right, I can attribute to my dog.
Oh, yeah.
My dog one lah. But if I have no dog, then what is that sound? You will start to think. So my experience overseas one, right, is actually with you guys.
Huh?
I think, no, with you, I think, Japan. No, not even Japan. Sorry.
Hey, bro.
Sorry, Sydney.
I'm not even there.
You're not at Sydney. This one, I cannot verify whether it really happened. But this is what my girlfriend tell me lah. My girlfriend was shopping. I go to the gift shop. I bought an alpaca for her because she loves alpaca. So this alpaca soft toy. And then they say, made from real alpaca fur. Okay? Then I was hoping that maybe the alpaca never die lah, just shed or what.
Shave off
shave off lah. So I brought it to her, I give it to her, she very happy lah.
Right.
Then back to Singapore, right, when we sleeping, right, Mantou sleep with us, okay? But for that particular night, she didn't come into the room. So she was outside sleeping already. Okay? But the alpaca, right, was placed like on the the corner of the room.
Right. Okay.
Okay? Then at like, you know, when you sleep halfway, like Mimi Hoo Hoo like that, right? She felt this four-legged animal walking over her, which is very normal if Mantou was there.
Right.
So she thinks it's Mantou. She never think
Too much lah.
Then after that, she wake me up and say, why is Mantou keep walking here? Then I just, Mantou not here. Then after that, Then she on the light, right? The alpaca was like staring right at her. Then I was like, I didn't know, I don't feel any of that thing. But she said, then ever since, right, she just kept the alpaca and like it's a cursed object now. Right?
Never throw away.
She don't know if throw away will offend the alpaca. Right?
It could be you, the
Why do that?
four-legged animal. You're just like.
That would be even scarier. But back to this guy's story, I really just think that you just roll off the bed.
lor.
You don't have a history of sleepwalking, but maybe it's the first time. You don't case study ma. In my life before, I got ever sleepwalk once lah. But that's it. Only one occurrence only.
Never come
Yeah.
before.
So it may just be that lor. Maybe you already feel uneasy and then you're very paranoid. Then at night you start
Yeah,
to do all that. But I wouldn't know lah.
Mind tricks.
Yeah, but this is not a horror story, so I can't say say much. In terms of horrorness, I would say,
Horrible.
are we doing out of 10? 10 being the scariest lah. Okay.
1 out of 10 bets.
Bats.
Bats.
Okay.
So the
Horror
supers
ma.
will come out.
Okay, now you see our editor need to put the graphic for the
Then
bats,
why
right?
you want to say 10? You can say 5. Then now he has to put 10 bats.
Okay, 5 bats.
Okay, fine,
1
fine.
out
Now
of 5.
five bats, huh?
Okay, 1 out of
Is
5 bats.
bats or spiders easier to edit?
I think.
Okay, 1 out of 5 ghosts.
Okay, ghosts.
Ghost
okay.
easiest
Those white
lah.
shit ghosts.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so the editor have to just now change from 10 bats to 5 spiders to now 5
Yes.
ghosts.
5 ghosts. Okay,
Okay.
so this is a 1 out of 5
Yeah.
ghosts.
Yes, 5
The editor at this point of time.
How about we make it 3?
You
You see that? I've always wanted to do this.
look at the supers now.
No, I've always wanted to do this.
Okay,
we,
okay.
we each can give 1 ghost.
Oh,
Okay,
so
okay.
so it's like fucking stars lah.
This is Ghost King.
Ghost King.
Ghost King.
Ghost King.
Okay,
So
okay,
we can rate this.
Okay.
There's
So-
0 ghosts for
That's
me.
0 ghosts.
0. So I guess you can say that this
This
story
story
has 0 ghosts.
It really was no
Yeah, no ghosts.
Oh, yeah,
no
yeah,
ghosts.
yeah.
Okay, next up. Number 2. There was once a Sec 1 camp we have to walk for 10 kilometers and I fake sick to not attend it.
Wait. Secondary school camp.
What kind of sick?
I
My
got
army,
secondary
they
camp
don't
lah.
even go 10 click.
10 click is a lot eh.
Yeah. What kind of
okay.
secondary school camp is this?
This person came and not attend it lah. So I was resting in the teacher's office and there was aircon, very comfortable. Until I had to use the toilet. Wait sorry. This is how the exact words Until I had to use the toilet and when you enter the toilet, there is a noise when you enter. So I went to the last cubicle and the toilet needed to squat. While I was shitting, I heard the taps on and it was just one. There were 5 taps and all of it was on. I was
All
curious.
taps were on?
Yes. Okay. So I went up to see the taps change from one tap to another, but there was no one but me. Huh?
But the real question is, right, before you go wipe your butt.
And my second question is, which secondary school is this? Why teach you English like that one?
I think that's the true horror right here.
Okay, so I don't know, in secondary school you all got go camps before?
have.
Any weird thing happen? Or you all
Actually, there was one.
Sec 3 camp lah, is it?
Yeah, everybody Sec 3 must go camp.
That
one.
is
Yeah.
I never heard of Sec 1
It's called
camps before.
OBS. Is it OBS?
Your school got OBS?
Yeah, my
Your
school
Baba,
OBS.
yeah.
OBS.
You got go?
Yeah, have.
I go also.
Oh, really? I never go OBS before.
I go the 3 day I never pee. I run.
Impossible.
I really run.
Cannot. That one sure spoil.
I felt very
That's why spoil.
Spoil it. Cannot use now already. Yeah. Cannot use already. It's just a prop at this point.
So when I was in secondary school, right, I think OBS is like for leaders. Is it?
No,
No,
everybody. Go. My whole cohort go.
The Sec 3 camp must all go.
Yeah,
I heard like for other schools at that point in time, right, OBS is selected few.
No.
For a lot of schools,
No
I
leh.
think.
My one is
Really
not.
meh?
Maybe
But-
overweight people cannot go.
No, but my one also. My one also, the whole school can go. But then, right, something special was that every, I think, 1 or 2 years, my secondary school will have this Sec 2 camp.
Okay.
Then the Sec 3 leaders will be involved in the planning.
Like the seniors lah.
Yeah. So at that point in time, right, I cannot go to the OBS. So I went to plan the camp. And at that point in time, I was like the second IC of the camp.
Okay.
So what happened was, it's at Labrador camp.
Oh, yeah, that's where I go also.
Yeah,
I go
Labrador
also.
camp.
The Pasir Panjang there lah. What, C-Bike? What the Sorry.
You don't say anything.
Why your door? Your door slightly open one. We had meals, of course we have meals. And we are the one that catered the meals. So it's usually catering, those bento set. And then right, suddenly a few people start to puke.
Huh?
Yeah, at night.
Food poisoning.
Yeah, we thought it was like maybe because of the food, right? Someone puked right a whole prawn.
But you want to serve prawn?
But we never eat prawn.
Wow, I got goosebumps.
Yeah. That was f***ing crazy.
Wait. You mean everybody, a lot of people start vomiting?
A few lah, like
And
3
they
or 4.
vomit all prawn?
I think 2 of them or 1 of them vomit prawn.
Like full prawn?
Yeah, the food.
Not even the 咬过的.
He already said full prawn.
Yeah, like, okay, but without shell, I think.
Okay.
I didn't see lah, but that's what I heard.
Okay.
Because I was the IC, but I have to
Right.
know ma. Yeah, that was quite puzzling.
Yeah,
But
it is.
I think like at Sec 3 or Sec 2, we like didn't
care
really
lah,
care.
don't know
yeah.
mah.
Don't know ma. Then we just like, oh whatever lah. Maybe ta before like camp. But
Yeah.
you may think like maybe before 他来 camp 吃 right? But that was like day 2 or 3.
Right.
So if you eat before you come camp, should have digested ma.
And
But
if
why
you-
he never chew the prawn?
Yeah, why you never show? It's solo the whole prawn. Yeah, it's a bit.
And it's crazy because nobody will order seafood for bento set ma. A lot of people like may not like it or what.
Or allergy,
Yeah,
allergy.
allergy, that kind of thing. So like it was very confusing.
So what happened?
So, he never said.
Also, it's just the tap
It's
on
just the
lah.
tap on. Yeah.
The tap
But
on.
she went out and checked, and then like she saw it switch from one tap to the other, right?
Yeah. It just switch like on, off.
Like
on,
do re mi
off.
like that.
I'll be quite creeped out.
That I'll be quite creeped out.
Yeah. But I'm more creeped out about the prawn one.
Yeah, I'm more creeped out about your story.
Yeah, I got goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this one, there is eerie activity, but don't really have ghosts per se lah. So
And like this kind of thing, I always feel like mechanism problem. Why would the ghost go and play a tag? Hey, imagine
but
one day you
mechanism
die.
is also very weird. There's one by one, ma.
Yeah.
No, maybe
If,
like
if it's all break or some break or what, then I understand. But it's like one by one is like so intense.
maybe someone testing the
Or
tap.
maybe
or
the
what.
plumber testing lah,
Yeah.
at night lah, alone in the toilet lah.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
Cause he don't want disturb people in the morning.
Yeah lah. This kind of works must do at night one.
I see. Okay.
Wait, it's a cam, right? I think
Yeah.
someone playing a prank on you. Lah.
Maybe a break.
Yeah.
Maybe because they know you king.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk a 10
Confirm.
kilometer.
Confirm.
Then they change the whole activity to come and prank you.
Cause that's what I did for my OBS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, got one guy, he don't want to carry his weight. Like, cause we split the canned food, he don't want to carry. So he bathing, we take his clothes.
Oh. Nice.
We go hide his
Then
clothes.
how? Did he eventually come out?
I don't know. Me and my
Why
friend
if
are
he's
away
still
already.
hiding there? Waiting for his clothes.
He over here.
I mean, how many ghosts?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give it half a ghost because there is an eerie activity, but not really very scary.
No, I will say 0.
So if it happens to you, you won't be scared at
If
all.
got goosebump, I will give it 0.5 to 1 already. I never kena goosebump 0.
But I'll give it a half ghost because it's like at night. You know, at night you see this kind of thing, you confirm scared a bit lah.
At night, a lot of things can be suddenly very scary.
Yeah. So just because it's at night and it's a camp,
Right.
half a ghost.
And that means we have a total of one ghost. Okay, next story. I heard this short but very impactful story back in the days when I was a recruit in SG Army camp. During one random night, not their real names, John woke Peter up to ask him to accompany him to go toilet as he needed a pee. Reluctantly, Peter woke up, followed John to the toilet. So John went into one of the cubicles and closed the door to do his business, while Peter is at the standing urinal doing his small business. When Peter was done, he shouted for John to hurry up. John responded by saying, okay, wait. 10 minutes have passed, but John is still not out. So Peter shouted for him, asked, what the hell are you doing?
This story not very short.
Asked what the hell was he doing for so long, and he will not wait any longer as he wants to sleep. As he walks out, John responded, hey bro, don't go first leh, or you already know. Peter immediately goes
Wait, don't go first or you already know.
Yeah. Say,
okay, yeah.
He said, hey bro, don't go first leh, or you already know.
Oh my God.
Then Peter immediately goosebumps and ran back to the bunk. As he enters the bunk, he saw John in his own bed, dips asleep. As he looks back at the direction of the toilet, the light was still on. This story is by Gutsman Warrior.
Oh, my hair stands.
Yeah.
Wait, this is in what? In camp lah.
Camp.
Probably, yeah.
But it didn't happen. He heard this story. What do you think of this
Creepy,
story?
creepy.
It's not really creepy. Especially when the ghost is having a dialogue with you, responding to you.
Yes, yes.
That one. But speaking of NS, my one is SCDF, right? We got one folklore. I don't know how true is it,
Okay.
but because SCDF, we do a lot of rescue simulations lah. So we work with a lot of dummies.
I also work with a lot of dummies in the office.
Like, you know, the training dummy lah.
training dummy, yeah.
And there's a room full of the training dummy. As you can imagine, it's quite scary lah. I never experienced anything creepy, but what the instructor tell me was very creepy. So he asked me go take 4 dummy out. One dummy is really human weight, f***ing heavy, so you must really one by one. Okay? So when I go there, right, I noticed that dummy all like the right hand and left leg don't have.
Quite normal lah.
Always.
Is it normal?
So I gather lah. Reduce the weight lor. Should be easier lah. Easier.
True.
That's what I gather lah. So I carry there. Yeah, I just asked the encik lah, like, how come must cut the hand and the leg?
Right.
He said, oh, because at night they will run around the track. Then I only told 2 dummies so far. Then I really don't know anything. But I don't know how true is it.
Like, it's like, you know, each like to make this kind of joke.
but training dummy is standard cut off the hand and leg, man.
We don't have it.
I don't have.
No, but just now you say standard what? When I say,
Imagine like mannequin, you know, like hand gone, leg gone, normal ma.
oh, no, it's brand new but gone.
Oh.
So it feels weird lah.
So
Right.
how many ghosts is this story?
This one purely because it got talked back lah. I think that one damn scary lah. So I give it a 1 ghost lah.
Same for me.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
hair stand.
Yeah.
After he said like you already know.
I'll give you a 0.5.
Where?
Because
where
it
is
didn't
this?
happen to him here.
Oh.
Hearsay only.
Okay.
Like, I can just come up with the scariest story,
Right.
But it didn't happen to me.
So if it's a real his story, you give it a 1
I'll
ghost
give you a
lah.
1 straight.
Gutsman Warrior got a total of 2 and a
Point.
half ghosts.
Yeah, correct.
All the long story, all the short story I do it. No,
Let's see, man, this guy. Yes,
That's why I saw on the first 3 story.
This one the longest.
Number 5
Number four.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay lah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I shall read it.
I thought you want to win.
So this story happened 10 years ago. We have a weekend getaway at a particular resort in Batam, the one with a huge Kuan Yin Ma statue in the middle. We booked a 2-bedroom villa overlooking the sea and was assigned the second villa in corresponding order. We requested to move to the first one as it had a better view of the ocean, and the request was granted. 2 of our friends.
Walao.
Wow, scary. I'm really scared. You scare me. You scare me. Hey, I can think to the room, but it's scary.
What the was that?
Turn the camera.
What the guys, seriously. Zibai scary this mask. This one what? The nun It's like the person just slowly just cut it.
Okay, never mind. She shall join us from now. Okay, where did I last stop?
Carry like a baby. Carry like a baby.
Wait. Put on my...
I effed up leh.
He's white.
Okay.
You look like a clown.
You comfortable?
Come on.
We continue the story.
Can let her see the iPad.
Right.
I feel like Metapod.
Two of our friends has the third eye. Able to sense supernatural power, but they kept quiet throughout the night. We had our usual drinking session at the balcony, and around 10 p.m. she told us to end the session as it is late, not knowing she has reasons.
Okay.
We rested shortly and we split 4 persons to the first room and 2 persons to the second room. At the blink of an eye, it was daytime and we are due to check out soon. We sensed something is not right and we tried to piece the missing puzzle to the rather normal night. To my surprise, it wasn't normal at all. There was a TV at the couple's room and the reflection was towards the bathroom.
Oh, off.
So they saw-
I see where this is going.
They saw a Pontianak looking at them. Through the reflection.
Well, that's
scary. Well, lucky they never come out at the park. I think I was really scared because the image in my head quite vivid.
Yeah. Was it you? No? Okay. In conclusion, this was the breakdown of what happened during the night. Balcony, they saw dark figures floating around the area. So bedroom 1, 4 packs. One of them saw a small boy playing ball in the room and he packed his bag and left during the first light. So it's not just the couple in the two rooms. Everybody experienced it.
Okay.
One of them saw I was being possessed. I sat up in the middle of the night and started to sleep talk and was grabbing onto the hands of my friend. One of them felt sandwiched the space in between us and forced himself not to think about it and kept his eyes shut. Bedroom 2, the couple saw the Pontianak peeking at them. Postscript, I'm not sure if this is a circus, but it was a hell of an experience for us. Apology for the long post. Was it you?
There's this thing called mass hysteria. Have you all heard before?
no.
Okay, let's say inside this room got 100 people. I very convincingly tell you all, I saw a ghost, and I start screaming, right? Everybody will start screaming. Everybody will start thinking that they saw the ghost. So I heard of like a large case of mass hysteria is like schools. The entire school thought something is happening. So mass hysteria could be part of this.
It's a psychological term.
Yeah. I figure it might be that lah. If you want me to be a skeptic, then that's what I think lah. Because to me this story right has all the cliches of all the ghost stories. All the cliches into one.
Right.
Feels very
Reflection, Pontianak.
It feels like
possession.
I get inspired by this story, that story, this story. Doesn't feel very original lah, but that's just me lah. I don't know what you all feel lah.
It's quite scary to me, honestly.
Okay.
Because I feel that if you are one person, then maybe something didn't happen, you know? Maybe something that's a coincidence or whatnot. But this one, it's a lot of coincidences.
Right.
You know, like one
Happening
saw,
to a lot of people lah.
yeah, happening to a lot of
friends
people.
lah, yeah.
But nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's all like, 我看到这个，我看到那个，我看到这个，我看到那个。
But that being said, you know what's the scary part? The friends see the ghost right, first thing in the morning, zao
He never say anything,
they
sir.
never tell anyone.
Oh, yes, sir.
Wow, that is a scary friend to have, sia. I
sir.
don't want to have friends like that, sia.
No, but it's like, I think he don't want to scare anybody. I don't know, cause
But you go off like that is more scary. You know?
he did mention that two people out of the whole group are able to see this kind of thing. Man.
They never say who was the one that saw
Yeah,
though. Then the possessed one, right? Because it was just like, I sit up and sleep talk and grab my hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a possession to me lah.
Okay.
Because we did see something like a possession. Me and Nigel we saw.
I know.
And that was crazy. We had like 6 people pinning her down.
Yeah.
And they are all like bigger than me.
Like physics and physically is impossible.
Yeah.
That's why we can clock it up to possession.
Yeah, but
This one is just grabbing her. Only.
It's just like a sleep talk lah. Like
yeah.
I also got sleep talk
Sleepwalking
before.
lor.
That means I possessed before. Very normal.
The most normal person in this whole story is the
Story
OP because like he or she is the only person that didn't see or experience anything.
But he or she was the person that got possessed.
Yeah, but
he or she don't know.
She
He
don't
got
know.
possessed.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
don't know.
people see.
Yeah, so it's to him or her, right, it's like a normal holiday. Then when we wake up, right, 那个 John 去哪里？回家了啊
Either that, or it's a very badly written story.
Maybe.
As such, I will give it 0 ghosts. I think this is my first 0 ghosts. I feel like it's
Wait.
I feel like it's a bit like mixed story.
0 ah.
Doesn't feel anything overly detailed to be real, but doesn't feel very original also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to discount this person's story. I will give it 0.5.
0.5.
A bit scary.
I'll give it a 1
What?
Oh,
你这个是怪胎 you.
Because I feel like
Can you put that shit up?
Oh, you call it shit. Oh. Oh, I like 找你 oh.
Yeah.
I feel like it's because like it's a lot of stories combined into one.
Yeah lah, that's
Like-
what I say. That's why I give it 0.
That's why I give you
it
one because
It's all the
same
cliches
place,
happening at the same time.
but it cannot be like okay. Imagine like you say like you saw a poster. Then I was like, hey bro, I saw a small boy.
Okay.
You get that vibe. Then it's like, oh, it's not so coincidental after all. You know, then it'll be like, this place is haunted.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You get what I mean? It's like the other time when I cannot sleep paralysis. I was scared, but what made it scarier, right, was other people. At least 2 of them said they had sleep paralysis that night.
No, that's why I say when you say this story, let's say this one, all the friends see the same thing, experience the same thing. That's scary.
Maybe like got a lot inside. Like, that's how dirty it is.
I guess. I mean, to each of their own. I'm all the stories so far so good, but this one tak kena.
Tak kena.
Tak kena.
Lemak.
As such, this ghost story has a total of 1.5 ghosts.
It wasn't you, right? So for our next story by Red. 红色
Yes. Like 我们的 background 这样红色。
yes, 对。
Okay.
I had this weird experience as a kid that totally freaked me out back then, but now it just seems bizarre. This happened in primary 3 during remedial class. Wow, primary 3 got remedial class.
That means this person hopeless at study.
But at least he go to class.
Then at least the English good.
Not bad.
At least you got go school lah.
I was one of those kids who couldn't sit still.
Like Ben.
Okay, you said, I tell me you say you can move.
Why you'll be hidden by the blur?
I shift the blur out a bit. By then, my teacher had pretty much given up on scolding me for it because I never listened anyway. So there I was zoning out, rocking to my own rhythm, when suddenly my chair stopped moving. It didn't jolt or anything, it just gradually slowed, as if something was holding it still. A bit dazed, I looked over my shoulder, expecting maybe it got caught on something, and I saw an adult man's hand gripping the back of my chair. What the heck? I can still picture it vividly, kind of a thick hand with prominent veins, wearing a button shirt cuff. It looked like he was wearing a pinstripe shirt. Wow, very, very detailed.
Very specific. I believe.
Yes, yeah. Then, just like that, the hand let go and was gone. I looked up and saw only my friend behind me, and her arms were way too short to have reached my
that
chair.
explains.
I even asked if she grabbed it, but she looked at me confused. It couldn't have been my teacher either. She was at the front talking the whole time. I was so spooked, I stopped rocking my chair for good. I tried a few times later to see if the hand would show up again. Curious boy. But it never did. It was enough to break the habit for the rest of my school days.
Somebody should do that to my shaking legs.
Or you just want someone to touch your leg, is it?
Yeah.
Just grab.
It's not baby though. It's not like
Okay. It could be like like he kena juke. Okay, I demo for you.
Yes.
Okay, imagine this is the guy I assume lah.
okay.
Then like I'm the discipline master So like I see this Dellingun.
Dellingun.
Delinquent.
No, let's go with Dellingun.
Okay, let's just go with Dellingun. This motherfucking Dellingun.
Okay,
Then like rock. Then like okay, you must be the friend
Okay.
Then like you rock. But you must sit front Then I'm a discipline master. Then like that. Then you will see this hand you look at this hand
No, but if I turn here, I'll see you. If I turn here,
You see the hand only
He saw the hand only.
but they say the hand is above or below.
No,
Because
the
my-
chair.
The chair like I check the chair.
like
Then you
that.
like then you look.
So I see the hand.
Then you like what the
Then you look again. Look again? 没有了。
No, but 我已经走掉了 like okay, you look.
Okay.
Then you like
What the
then he like that look where?
Yeah, then he checked again mah.
He has to what? This
I think
normal,
it's-
No,
normal
okay.
reaction is like that,
I show you how it happened. Like that.
What the
He was rocking mah. He was rocking. Yeah. Okay. Continue rocking. Like hold the chair mah. Then you won't like that mah. You will like that. So you only see the hand.
I do it slowly.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wow.
Okay.
Right. It could be real lah.
Okay. But cause the guy asked the friend, "Do you hold my chair?" Why didn't the girl
But
say anything?
he never asked, did anybody hold my chair?
No,
Or
but
it could be the friend also like that.
Maybe
Never
also,
see, I
never
never
see.
see.
maybe.
Right.
I guess so. The discipline master walked into the classroom, stopped the guy holding chair, and just walked away.
away,
Right.
This actually reminds me of my story when I shot for Incredible Tales. I don't know you all know that.
I remember. I think it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, dude.
It was on
So,
Netflix.
This is my first time acting, my whole life.
Right.
Okay, it was at the Pasir Ris Chalet there. There was something creepy that happened right that night. It was supposed to be 2-day filming, but the whole story changed right because by the first night right, one of the actress, the younger one right, quit, don't want to shoot already. She cried. She go back. But because okay, this one I verified. We all saw it. When I walked into the set, the ghost that with the makeup, right, she playing Tai Ti. I really like the immersion is break lah, but the face is rotting.
Right.
So they told us what's the ghost story about. So I think it's quite a standard ghost story, nothing very scary. But that night, right, when we shoot until night, right, there was a playground, right. Suddenly, right, when we shooting, then you know sound very important, we hear the rocking of the seesaw, the horse. It just walk violently alone by itself. Then after that, the someone call cut then we can see it that it's walking violently. Then he started to chant in Malay. And then the chair was violently then suddenly pop. Then the girl cried. Then I also pick up already.
I think 他用那个 immobilize. The seesaw.
Okay, that one I witnessed it. Although I never see anything creepy, but that thing was creepy lah.
No, but this one is the hand grabbed the chair.
And he physically saw the hand.
But I already proved to you all already. Things that will make me scared is things that like you cannot explain.
Yeah, very hard to explain.
How to explain? But this one is like there's a way.
So basically now our ghost story is just let's try to explain what actually happened. And then we are okay.
We are here to make you not so scared. We are here to relieve you of your childhood trauma.
Yes.
But this was a good thing for him. His habit of rocking chairs.
Yeah. So I guess with his explanation, not very scary.
Not very scary.
Yeah, sorry. A bit thirsty. You know, like because you know why I'm a bit thirsty. You know, usually when we shoot gang out, it's about 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And then they don't have like sponsor to sponsor us drinks.
Yeah.
Then like our pantry also running out of drinks or that. Then like,
also a bit packaged, a bit hungry, no snack.
and you know, like now that we got this chair, I don't know who bought this, but it's so good because you can put like
Which chair buy for the Decathlon?
Oh, is it?
$89 for 3.
Hey, wow, that's a steal.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
What a deal.
Yeah. But if you want to do some deals with us, you know, like sponsor some drinks, we can put like drinks here, you know.
Right.
Wow.
See? Then people can see.
If you all want to work with us, then
then the email is here lah.
put some email here lah. Don't know whose email lah. Just put lah.
Correct. But my verdict will be 0 ghosts because of how you explain. You make it a lot less scary.
I would say 0.5.
0.5.
In case it's real.
Same.
If it's real,
Got chance. No, cannot rule out totally that it's not
because if
real.
it's real, then it's really quite scary.
Yeah. Okay. This one I also
because maybe you benefit on the doubt. Maybe you did like then like nobody in
then
the calf.
correct.
You know, then okay.
Still got one more scenario. Maybe the discipline master squat down.
You're like
Okay.
So with that, we have a total of 1 ghost.
Next story. Wow. Is by Satan himself.
Wow. That's intense.
Came home from family outing. Everyone buzzing around while I walked into the bathroom to wash my feet without turning on the lights. Saw someone hiding behind the bathroom door, laughed and thought it was my mum. Cause I saw her enter the house first. And even helped her spray water at her feet. Saw her toes wiggle and rub in the water. And then told her if she was trying to scare me, it wasn't working. Walked out to my mum putting away groceries. Siblings and dad still outside.
How you explain this?
At least the ghost gets to have clean feet, I guess.
oh, this one.
Wow, this one.
Short but
Because he got ghost spray the feet, so it's not just a illusion
and he wiggle.
Yeah, he wiggle. Okay, let's say you go to a graveyard and you 碰到鬼 I don't think that's very surprising. You are asking for it. But like your house is meant to be a safe space. When it gets haunted, it gets very scary.
The creepy part is not about the washing the feet, I feel. It's the
the
laugh.
wiggling.
No, it's the
It's
laugh.
the laugh.
Because trying to scare him.
Yeah. So the part is creepier. Wow, I never heard any stories like that. So I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna believe it.
You just bought a new house, right? You got go any what's it called, house visiting? Look at new house called
House viewing.
house viewing.
What the was that?
You got go house viewing one, right?
Yeah, got.
They got tell you
They
won't say.
but must ask,
but
right?
there's a rule. They won't say. But if you ask, they have to say.
You got ask.
I got asked for one particular house. I asked why it's so cheap. Then the property agent give a loud sigh. The previous owner was a grandmother, passed away here. And right at the balcony. That was. Everything was good though. I like the house, the price, everything was good. but I cannot bring myself to do it. Yeah.
Pang.
But then again, you think about it, Singapore has existed quite some time. Every corner of Singapore, I believe somebody died before. We even had a war here.
True.
So every corner also will have people die one.
I guess.
So, what really will it really affect? I don't know but it did affect me.
But you know what I can debunk?
What?
I can debunk that this ghost, right, is Asian.
Why?
Only Asian 要洗脚.
Yes.
You know because we don't wear shoe into the house so friendly. Friendly should be friendly
At least like bother to clean
we
the
still
food.
laugh never come out.
Yeah, not from like the old time the war, British fight or whatnot Should be Singaporean should be Singaporean.
Right. But I'm just wondering if she pull back the curtain will he see something or just the feet there?
But that's the thing. It's like you always think back, like what if I did that?
Yeah.
Because at that point of time you'll be like, your mom just watch the film, don't need to pull what curtain or whatnot.
Right.
Wow, freaking scary.
Yeah, this is quite scary.
I'll definitely give it a
One ghost.
Definitely one ghost. By far the scariest one. Because it's very original. He can't make that shit up one.
0.5
Huh? Why?
It's scary, yes.
So if it happens to you, you won't be scared
I'll be puzzled. It's something supernatural, definitely. But it's not bone-chilling scary.
Okay. How about you, sir?
I will give it a 0.5 as well.
Also? Why?
For its originality.
Original.
Really. So this ghost story has a total of 2 ghosts.
Yes.
When I was around 14 to 15 years old, I was already known for having a weak 八字 and being sensitive to spirits. One night, close to midnight, I was sharing a room with my mom and older sister, sleeping between them under a dim night light.
Okay.
Just as I was drifting off, I heard marble sounds from the ceiling, a familiar sound in the HDB flats.
Yeah.
Then I caught a shadow in the corner of my eye. I ignored it, but soon felt chills, and out of nowhere, looked up at the top of our cupboard.
Oh my god.
Wow, the chills.
Yeah, I'm also a bit chills.
Okay.
To my horror,
Okay.
I saw a bald, wrinkled figure squatting on the cupboard.
Oh, wow.
His dirty, green, yellow skin and red eyes staring straight at me.
Kalian goblins
So look like Ryan.
Green
It's green, yellow skin. I was frozen in fears, tears streaming down my face. Struggling, I managed to shake my sister awake and she quickly woke my mom. My mom turned on the light, I could finally move. We left the toilet light on all night, shining on the cupboard. The next morning, I found my Thai amulet on my table with its chain broken and a crack across the amulet's window. Since that night, I've only slept with a bright night light.
Like you
Yeah, but I never see a wrinkly figure.
Wow. But she got mentioned that she cannot move until the lights is on
Yeah.
Then it could be the 被鬼 you know the
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis.
No, but she was frozen in fears. She was scared.
But
Fears were correct. Frozen in
Sleep paralysis.
Fear. Frozen in fear.
sleep paralysis you were like that one.
No, but the thing is, she struggled and managed to shake the sister awake.
No, but she's not sleep paralysis. She's scared to move. It's different, I think.
Yeah, I think she's scared to move.
Feels very similar to like typical sleep paralysis story.
Yeah,
they will see shadowy figures.
Yeah.
They cannot move. They cannot scream.
But very detailed on the thing that she saw on her cupboard.
yeah.
Red eyes, green, yellow skin, bald, wrinkly figure.
But typically I'm not trying to debunk this but typically I heard sleep paralysis will cause you to hallucinate also. Have you all experienced sleep paralysis?
I have
before?
the other episode I did say. I experienced it twice. I feel like it's a part of the brain that we don't activate that much. You know, it's because brain is a very
Complex thing.
complex thing.
Yeah.
I don't think like we really have like 100% knowledge of how the brain works. Then I also feel like seeing ghostly figure, shadowy figure, is because of your brain playing tricks on you.
Yeah.
Because how your eye perceives things is also because of your brain,
Yeah.
And then the 2 times that I got sleep paralysis was because I was super tired.
My friend told me about this sleep paralysis story. So the husband is in overseas.
Okay.
And she just moved into this new house, just renovated finish. She was sleeping at night, Then she heard and she saw her main door open. Then
Like her
she-
bedroom door.
Then she saw her husband walk in. So she say the husband name, hey, you come back already because
Normal reaction.
normal reaction.
Normal reaction.
But the husband never say anything, never on the light, just put his key there. Then he walked very slowly towards the room and she she see like the silhouette of the husband walking closer. You can recognize your husband's silhouette. I figure lah. Walk closer. Because she don't dare to close the door or that because she all alone Then walk closer, then stop at the main door. Then she realized that's not the husband. And she wants to scream and she cannot move. She cannot move. Then the weirdest thing for her, and this part she say is confirmed not sleep paralysis, the light suddenly on. The light suddenly on, then the figure is not there. Then she suddenly can move.
Actually, the most scary one is when they mimic your loved ones.
Oh yeah, those. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What I heard about sleep paralysis, basically what it means is your mind is awake, your body is not. Your body is still asleep. That's why you cannot control.
That's why your brain is telling you what you're seeing.
Yeah. So because of this weird imbalance, there might be hallucination or some chemical reaction causing.
That's what I believe lah.
Yeah, but I believe the fear is genuine. She believe what she saw, she really sees it. Right. So it can be quite scary. This definitely get 1 ghost for me. This is pretty good. Original also. Never heard before.
Original.
I would give it 1 star lah because
scary.
1 ghost.
You feel
sorry, not one star. One ghost. I'll give you 1 ghost because I could relate, and at that point in time I also cry. I don't cry one. Little bit cry.
Ben don't cry.
I don't cry one. It's like I want to but like the tears just don't come out. Very hard like 2 men you know. Yeah.
In fact, in this office I never seen anyone cry before but you.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Like, I cried at that point. That's why it was super duper scary for me. I was contemplating to give it half a star because it happens quite often, you know. It's not something that I never hear before. And I personally feel like it's a chemical reaction. But it's still very scary. Like
for me, 0.5 lah.
Wow, can't satisfy you.
At first it was scary, but after you read on with context, it has something to do with the sleep paralysis. Then
but sleep paralysis itself is quite scary.
But it's not a supernatural thing. It's a chemical reaction.
Yeah, and a lot of people happen to a lot of people. Even though I think that it's not scientifically proven how it works. They have no explanation.
I think very little studies to understand.
But still, it happens to a lot of people. So I would assume it's something that is not as supernatural as other stuff. Like it's a little bit scientific.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, 0.5 ghosts only.
Okay, so with that, we have a total of 2.5
Not
ghosts.
bad. Getting there.
Yeah, getting there.
Not bad. Getting there.
Yeah.
This person is called Ikan Wamwa. She's just doing this for fun because our videos are interesting.
Okay.
So she's sending her story lah. When I was 8 or 7 years old, my parents took my brother and I to watch a horror movie. It was our first time watching something scary and filled with ghosts. So we were pretty curious about it. The movie ended there, and my brother and I was terrified by that movie. However, our parents seemed calm and just told us it was just a movie. We went back home and I was shaking in the back of the car while staring at my mother who sat beside me. She looked pretty calm and I thought it was most probably because that movie wasn't scary to her or my dad. A few years later, when I was in secondary school, I brought out that movie to my parents and told them how it terrified me when they looked at me with a confused expression. They told me they never took me out to any horror movies because they hated it. I was shocked and asked my brother about it, and he said he never saw it either, despite him being the one that was also traumatized by it with me. In the end, my parents just said I probably had a scary dream when I was a child, which made me imagine this scenario. But how can I imagine or dream a scary dream filled with existing ghosts when I had never encountered that before?
Wow. Maybe the parents gaslight. Wow, scary.
But the brother also said
that means she went out on a whole outing with the family watching a movie, but it never happened. The family all cannot remember.
Yeah. It's not cannot remember. It
never
never
happened.
Then maybe you travel to a parallel universe.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Right? Alternate reality.
There's this TikTok video. This guy holding Bernstein bear. So apparently
What is Bernstein bear?
It's this
I know
cartoon bear.
Bernstein buns.
No, it's just a childhood book.
It's a childhood book.
Right.
So apparently the spelling of it is supposed to be like.
Oh, I think I saw that video.
And then he took the same book to another room. The spelling on the
I saw
book
that.
changed.
I saw that.
That was super creepy.
I saw that.
But it could be cut, it could be video effect.
It could be
maybe it could be, but it was very creepy to me.
Yeah, but Mandela effect plays on that. But this story makes it scary, right? Because let's say I don't look at it from a supernatural point of view. I look at it at a parallel universe point of view. That's scary. It means it really separated from how the original world. That's why the parents don't have this memory.
Yeah.
But I was.
Sorry. What? Eugenia. Just to confirm, you'd like to call Eugenia.
Eugenia? Who Eugenia? Junior call you lah.
Wow. My soul come out.
Wait, of all the time, why like that?
My soul come out.
Eugenia, mobile.
Why is that Eugenia?
Cancel.
On your computer.
You call him face.
Okay, I won't do it.
Yeah, you better
Not to
not.
call.
So the movie, right, was a Malay villager beside his house cutting grass with a machine at night. When he suddenly stopped and took her birthday cake, he lit the candle and started singing happy birthday to himself when his machine malfunctioned and killed him.
What the Some big great movies, yeah.
Fast forward, it showed a young couple traveling by car when their car suddenly broke down. They were forced to stay at a nearby village for the night and came across the same village that the Malay villager was in. The village was quite empty, there was no signs of activity, but they didn't really notice it. Then they knocked on one of the house's door to ask to stay over at the house for the night lah. An elderly Chinese couple welcomed them into the house and told them they could stay here before leaving the next morning. So the young couple stayed in one of the room, discussing what to do with the car, then they brushing their teeth. Then they suddenly saw a 僵尸 hopping behind them in the mirror.
A 僵尸 in Malay movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is getting drift like Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, they encountered many ghosts in that room. And when they had enough, they went downstairs to find the elderly couple who was supposed to be in the dining room. When they saw that there was no elderly couple, but just 2 wooden tombstone tablets on their table, signaling that the couple was never alive and already died long ago before they came. And so the two ran out of the house and miraculously started a car leaving the village altogether. And the movie ended there.
This is a strange ass plot.
Now, right, now I'm more convinced that it's a dream. If you have this kind of plot and then you put into movie, I think the movie will fail.
Unless the movie really exists. If viewers you hear this story, if you know the movie, let us know.
Right.
No, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
So if this movie really exists, okay, in our world, so called, means it really did happen to her.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Then she traveled to some sort of parallel universe.
That
or
is
what.
too. Actually, honestly, that's quite detailed already.
Yeah, that's very detailed. I don't feel like you can make that shit up. There's also another possibility. You all heard of what's astral walking? This is again fringe science. Means somebody claim that they can do it. Is when you sleep, right? And then you can control your soul go where and get information. So they actually tested, like scientists legit got test this person, right? Sleeping, right? Then they write a note, put it on top of the cabinet. The whole time they monitor him, right? When he woke up, he can say what is written there.
When he woke up.
Because he know how to astral project, he say lah. So maybe she astral project to go watch the movie. But that's a waste of the power lah. As such, right, I believe the story and I think it's damn creepy.
Okay.
And I think it's very creepy because like let's say it's really travel to another universe, right? Means how the original universe don't exist for her anymore already. So I will give it a 1 ghost.
Whoa.
Definitely 1 ghost. A strong 1 ghost.
Give it 0.
You really think it's a whole ass dream lah.
Yeah, I think it's a dream because it happened to me a few times already. Like, and it's not like scary or ghost related lah, but there were dreams that I felt like was also very real.
Very real lah.
Yeah, I think 0 for me also. Unless someone comment down below
That the movie exists.
that movie exists, then I will bump it up to a 1.
Oh, then
I'll
you?
bump to a 0.5.
No,
Or
I'll
still
bump it to a 1.
Unless the whole plot you say is correct, then what?
Like exactly like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. So if the movie name really have,
No, it could be 他看到那个 trailer what？他 dream 到那个 trailer。
okay, sure.
Okay, sure. So it's either a 1 ghost or 2.5 ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a new entry.
New entry?
Just come in lah.
No lah, I forget read just now. Maybe this will be the one
Okay.
that will scare me and pee my pants. So this story was written by Jay, and this story was about an incident during his NS days back in the year 2004. After our initial few weeks in our BMT in Tekong, we have the meet parents session where the parents will come to visit us at our bunks to see how we are coping. After a while, they come and visit. Obviously, parents will bring some food and etc. to pass to us, recruits to eat on the spot or keep with us for the next few weeks. Everything went on smoothly until the night where we lights off and retired for the night. We heard some loud noises, which we presume was someone accidentally banging into his metal cupboard when he was getting out to go to the toilet. The next morning, during breakfast, the people from the next bunk was asking, what the hell are we doing last night? As there were a lot of banging sounds from our metal cupboards coming from our bunk. We were in the first bunk, we just dismissed it as a prank from the second bunk. That night, we heard the loud banging noises again. But this time round, it was getting louder. We just dismissed it off because we were tired from our training. The next morning, the people from Bunk 2 were complaining during our morning roll call that both Bunk 1 and Bunk 3 were banging their metal cupboards throughout the night. All of us looked at each other and denied any of such doing. That's when things started to go off the charts that night. A recruit claimed to see a figure when he was doing his business alone at night. We started hearing chain noises dragging on the floor throughout the night. We feedback to our section commanders the next morning, who dismissed it as we were all fooling around. The recruit who saw the figure suddenly had fever and was admitted to see the MO. We never saw him back in during our training. Only thing we know, a few weeks after that, he went OOC, out of course. The chain sounds and the locker bangings continued on for the next 2 days, and several recruits has their own encounters. On Thursday, most of us were feeling very uneasy and continued with our training until the night. We were all in our bunks after our showers before lights out. Suddenly, we heard a loud shout, and a few minutes later, our OC shouted for everyone to fall into the company line. Everyone rushed down to the company line and sat down. Our OC came out with our PCs, CSM, and PSs, basically commanders, all the sergeants,
Basically everybody go down lah.
all the people with ranks, they
right.
all came out. This is the first time we saw his face looking so pale. He asked us, which of you brought pork-related stuff and eat in the bunk? I scared. Everyone looked at each other with a puzzled look and thought, what kind of joke is this? It was only when we saw the officers' faces that we know something was wrong. The OC repeated, which of you brought pork-related stuff and eat in the bunk? Don't worry, I won't punish you. It is for our safety and peace. There was a Chinese guy in our bunk that raised his hand and said his mum brought him pork dumplings, as it was a traditional thing to do in China. I assume it's 巴掌 lah. Everyone turned and looked at him as he mentioned he was the second-gen Chinese from China. Hence, he needed to serve NS and he didn't know what does this has to do with anything. The OC explained the reason why he shouted so loudly just now was a black figure went into his office looking very angry and demanded for an explanation. The black figure was known as Niu Tuo Kong, supposedly a protector or guardian, usually in Chinese and Malay villages. Hence, we can't eat pork in Pulau Tekong except at the cookhouse where they did some prayers.
How did this figure walk into the office? I don't understand.
I think it's not a normal thing. Like, it's not a normal human being.
We'll put a picture of it here.
Oh shit, that looks
Apparently.
scariest.
That's scary.
The OC explained to us the rationale of why we can't eat porks in our bunk. The act has offended the entities that were there, and now they are demanding for compensation and explanation. We were dismissed, and our OC and PCs went around to seek some follower officers' helps to place their beverage, which their crest on the table in the middle of each of our bunks, and the OCs, PCs, sergeants, and CSM took turns to guard outside our bunk. The next day, we were given special permission to go home for the weekend. When we returned back to the company line on Sunday evening, our bags were spot checked to ensure no pork-related items were inside. Some of the PCs told us they gotten some ritual done to appease the entities, and if we face anything like this again, please sound out ASAP. There were several OOCs, of course, after the incidents for reasons that can't be explained. There is another incident that happened during our POP road march. We'll share that the next time. I think like people got bring pakwa to
Sure, got bring bakwa. Standard.
Those things can keep one ma.
Confirm,
But there was also pork ma.
outfield, I always bring bakwa one.
Yeah, but nothing happened ma. So it could be because like they
That
know,
period
like,
of time,
yeah.
there's something that
No,
triggers
but
them.
one thing that is like confirmed that this story is real is that it involved the whole company.
And they got to go home.
Exactly.
That
So
very rarely they will let us go home.
It's quite accurate because if I remember correctly, previously, Sneaky Sushi said that in Singapore Army they bless the barrier crest.
Yeah.
They bless the crest lah.
Yeah, that's why he put all the officers
Yeah.
in the middle of each bunk, and they stand outside
To guard.
to make sure nothing happen.
Every stories that we hear so far was like based on personal experience.
Yes.
But this is like the whole entire
It
company.
involved the whole company.
Yeah.
Because like school 1 to school 3, right, it's a cluster. So there's a lot of lights. Because a lot of people have to ma. But we go to school 4, not a lot of people. So like not a lot of lights.
Then those people that just got their NS letter going to school for, they now watching this, they scared. Yeah.
I know lah, the whole Tekong got problem lah.
Yeah lah, not
the
just
water
school
got
lah.
problem.
Hello, bro.
So anyone that got an NS letter, you are already
Just every time, right, wear your beret.
yeah.
You go toilet, wear the
We could not bury.
we couldn't wear it.
We could not bury.
You can buy the crest from the Imat lah.
Oh, yeah.
Then every time you go toilet, you just
Initially, I heard the NS I said, NS story.
Yeah
It's
lah, yeah
all
lah,
here before already.
Yeah.
But this one quite easy.
and it's crazy because like hearing sounds, usually we marked it off as like hallucinations.
yeah. This one no
It's a bit
explanation.
hard.
I cannot
Yeah, a
explain.
bit hard to say hallucination. Everyone heard it.
Yeah.
And the part where the OC was so accurate on who brought pork. And specifically one guy really did bring.
Yeah. Very
Very hard to
oddly
collaborate this
specific.
kind of thing.
Yeah, one ghost for me.
Same for me.
Definitely.
One ghost.
I think it's a one ghost from
Wow!
No choice ah! This crazy
story.
Wow, really?
Wow. So this ghost story has a total of three ghosts.
And that means this story is scary.
Yes. Wow. So today the last one, I would say not bad.
Yeah, the last one.
The last one really not bad.
We all agree the last one is the best. Is it?
It have to be
Wow,
lah.
the last really the best.
But I want to give the special shout out still on the movie, the weird movie.
Right.
I want to know whether it exists. The one is a close second favorite for me.
My most memorable one would be, I think, the Goblin one.
Goblin
the ball wrinkly. Wow, that reminded me of the movie Conjuring.
I think most impactful one was the Peter go toilet one. Like what? That one if really happened to me I
Cry.
I will just like pee on the spot. I don't even need the urinal.
Why every situation you will face right with difficulties you will pee or you will shit.
It's how people release stress ma. Coping. You release
That's how he coped with it.
Like just release everything, you know. So we actually brought back this series because a lot of people have been asking for it. You want to see another horror episode? Which I think we won't do anymore.
A lot of things happen, guys. This is the longest Get It Out episode we ever done.
We have this idea, you know, because we have been listening to stories through a screen. We don't know your exam because like people who submitted stories, you'll probably be like, they don't know the full story.
They never read properly.
They never read properly. You know, you can the words that you write don't make sense to me.
Correct.
You know that kind of thing. Then we may misinterpret your stories. We were trying to hope that we can go out to public and then y'all can come down and join us. Any kind of story. We're not gonna limit to whatever theme.
No team.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to say.
we just want to gossip.
Please leave it in the comments so that we know. Because
yes.
we read your comments. That's why we do this oral episode. And with that, remember to follow all our socials. Click here for more. Click here to what? And cut to the bloopers. Pork dumplings. Wait, what?
Light off.
You cut it lah. Can you
Really? The light off.
Can you not say cause of it?
The light off.
No battery.